There's a lot of work behind the work that doesn't get named. I'm here this week to talk about it. Welcome back, and I'm excited to have you here. Sometimes the hardest part of the session isn't the child, it's the moment you realize how much the parent is struggling too. And if you've ever wondered to yourself, like, what do I do with this? Or how do I hold this without crossing the line? Or what is my role in this whole thing that's going on? I want to slow that moment down for you today. This is something I see all the time when talking to helping professionals about how they're showing up and how they're dealing with parent sessions. Because you're trained to support the child, you're focused on regulation, behavior, and progress. And then a parent starts to cry, or a parent shuts down, or a parent shares something really heavy with you. And suddenly there's this internal tension of, do I address this? Do I redirect this back to the behaviors of the child? Am I allowed to sit here with this? Like, what are the boundaries around that? A lot of clinicians start to feel torn, like they're choosing between the child and the needs of the parent. But here's the thing, that tension, that doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. It means that you're noticing something important. So here's one thing I want to offer you when the parent is struggling too. I'm Megan Ham. I'm a licensed professional counselor and supervisor, and I'm a registered play therapist. And for almost 2 decades, I've been working with families who've been in behavioral crisis, just helping them being able to get back to having a good relationship and enjoying each other again. First, the reframe. Supporting parents doesn't mean becoming their therapist. And avoiding the parent's experience doesn't protect the boundaries either. There's this little space in the middle, and that's where most of our work actually lives. You can acknowledge a parent's experience without taking responsibility for it. You can name what you see without needing to fix it. And that's the distinction that matters. That's the part that's really important. So then we have to practice that. Because when a parent shares something heavy, I don't rush in with the solutions. I usually slow down and say something like, hey, that sounds really hard. Or you're carrying a lot right now. And then I pause. But pause is important because it communicates I see you, I'm not overwhelmed, and I'm not taking this on for you. It keeps the work grounded and contained, and also letting them know that you're there as a support. I also love to set my intention. My intention in those moments is simple. I hold the space without absorbing it. I remind myself this isn't my story. This isn't my work to fix. My role is to witness. When I stay anchored there as a witness, boundaries don't weaken, but they get really clear. I'll tell you, early in my career, these moments used to throw me off. I either felt like I needed to do more or I felt guilty for not doing enough. But what I've learned over time is that presence is doing something, right? Me being there when a parent feels seen, me being there helping a parent feel seen, helping them when they don't have to feel like they have to come up with answers and all this kind of stuff, that is teaching them. And that's something that nobody really teaches us, but it changes everything. So if you find yourself sitting across from a parent who's clearly struggling, you don't have to solve it. You don't have to retreat from it. You don't have to hold it all. You're allowed to acknowledge what's there and still keep the work steady and safe. That balance takes practice, and you're learning it in real time. Take that with you this week. This is the work behind the work, and it deserves just as much care, conversation, opportunity as the other work that we do. See you next week.